manures and cover crops. Those are two words that are pretty much synonymous with sustainable living, permaculture, food forests, raised bed gardening, vegetable gardening, anything to do with growing your own food. But what exactly does it mean? When do you need to grow cover crops and green manures? And what does it do to the garden, which is why they are so highly prized? I'm going to show you why I need to grow it in my garden, show you some of the results, and maybe it helps you determine if you need to do it or not. Stay tuned. So here I am sitting next to a beautiful, lush, green, extremely fast growing green manure. This is barley, and the role of barley in this bed over here for me is to bind the sandy soil together. There are a few different reasons why you would want to grow a green manure or cover crop. The first one is the reason why I'm growing it, and that is to increase the soil structure and soil biology. So what cover crops do, especially the ones designed for green manures, they have very, very fibrous, dense root structures. And what that does is it creates a lot of biomass underground as well as above ground. They have quite deep roots. Barley is known to sometimes have roots that can go as deep as 2 meters. Now imagine, this is sandy soil. The water in summer pretty much just evaporates like that. If we now had a fibrous, dense root system that was about 2 meters deep, as soon as you chop it, those roots die. They become organic matter in the soil. They also provide little channels for water to come in. So now what you're doing is you're creating an underground network of decomposing matter to increase soil biology and soil life. You're adding nutrients back into the soil. You're also creating channels for water to go deeper into the soil, as opposed to in summer where sandy soil can actually become quite hydrophobic, which is you water on the top and the water pretty much just runs off and the sand is still dry underneath. So that's the reason why I'm growing cover crops. Why would you want to do it? Well, you've got sandy soil, and then the opposite to sandy soil is clay soil, and exactly the same principles apply. You'd want to plant cover crops in clay soil to break up the clay particles. These dense fibrous roots will still be able to penetrate the clay. However, when they decompose, they're creating air pockets and air channels, and as soon as you're chopping and you're dropping that green manure on top, all of those nutrients and organic materials are going back into those channels, in turn increasing the structure of a clay soil. You could have poor nitrogen. What you could be doing here is chopping, dropping, all of this green manure stays on top. You can use it as a mulch, or you can mix it in a little bit on the top level, or even better yet, chop it, drop it. And what I like to do is add a layer of homemade compost on top of it. So then you're introducing the soil organisms from your compost. They have all of this beautiful stuff to break down, and then as it's breaking down, they can just continue to live under the soil. A while ago I did a video on preparing my food forest floor, which I will show you snippets of. For that one I grew black oats, and it grew quite high, and just before they reached the flowering stage of, or in essence, seed production of the oats, I chopped it, dropped it, cut it up a bit, and then put a layer of compost on top. I haven't touched that bed since, and the plants have been absolutely thriving. So another reason why, like I mentioned, is nitrogen fixing and just adding generally nutrients to the soil. From a sustainability point of view, buying in bags and bags of compost and fertilizers, it's not sustainable. That's all coming from somewhere. It's loaded onto trucks. The trucks are being transported everywhere. So this is a really, really sustainable way of creating an organic, life-filled environment on top and underneath your soil, which can just continue to feed the environment. There can, however, be some drawbacks. First of all, you need to dedicate a full growing season to your cover crop. So now in winter, this bed, not that I had anything in it in the first place, but I wouldn't be able to grow any winter plants in here. However, I couldn't grow anything here before because of the sand. I'm dedicating this season, and the African vuvuzelas are going. But now, next spring, I'm gonna have a really dense, healthy soil that I can plant, more than likely something like sorghum or, I don't know, I'll see what I'm gonna put in here. But this bed is gonna be completely ready for something to thrive in next year spring. So just bear that in mind. If you have a really productive bed that's starting to struggle and you grow green manure crop or cover crop, just know for at least one growing season, whether it's summer or winter, you're not going to be able to use that bed because you're dedicating it to the green manure. So how do you prepare a bed for cover crop planting or to grow some green manure? It's pretty simple. Firstly, you need your seed. For this one, like I mentioned, I'm using barley. You want to then just remove any big pieces of whatever, whether it's wood, rock, brick, any case, anything like that, because you want to give as much surface area to growing as possible. You don't want a rock or something falling on top and then you got gaps. Then take a rake, even out your soil. The reason why you want to even it out is so that if and when you need to water, that you don't have any runoff or creating pockets of water in places and not in others. And then simply sow the seed quite densely on top. Obviously all the rules go straight out the door with regards to cover crops because you want it to be as dense as possible to create the fibrous root system and above ground green growth. And then for me personally, I like to add a nice thick layer of homemade compost on top, just boosting the nutrients, adding some soil life, and then just slightly covering the seed. I also like to do this when it has just rained and or is about to rain. The barley that I have and all the green manures really like moist environments, and the barley I was sitting next to is 2 weeks old. It grows incredibly quickly, but they're also very sensitive when it comes to initial germination and watering. So make sure that they are in a moist environment, they have enough water, which is why generally I say plant it when it has rained or is about to rain. So now we know why you want to be planting a cover crop or green manure. It is to increase soil biology, soil structure, add nutrients and nitrogen back into the soil, and a whole bunch of other things. Now, what can you grow as a green manure? There are a few different options, and I have grown black oats. I'm growing barley now. I have patches of clover all over the place. So in essence, what it is, oats, alfalfa, vetch, buckwheat, and a few others. That is going to give you everything you need in terms of soil structure and just to give your soil or your garden a kickstart for the next season without having to buy in a whole bunch of fertilizers. So now I hope you know why you would need to use a cover crop or green manure in your environment, as well as some of the options and just some inspiration. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Please consider subscribing to my journey so you can follow everything I'm doing, all my learnings, all my mistakes, everything in between. And please share this out to your communities and networks so we can all learn from each other and start growing more, start growing clean, and start growing more sustainably. Until the next time, happy growing.